J Drone here. This is Syma X8HG, and we are going to take it for a flight here. What I have done is I've widened the stance of the front feet, and I've also stuck on an action cam. It's not a really expensive action cam. I got the action cam for about $22 on Amazon. It shoots really nice video. It's extremely windy out though, so the video is not super awesome because it has a lot of shake in it, just because the drone itself is constantly fighting against the wind that I'm dealing with, which is up in the numbers of 12 to 16 mile an hour with gusts around like 20. The drone did all right. I'm not going to say it's a wind eater. It is definitely a fighter. It's able to fight in the wind. Anything stronger than this, I would not be out flying in it, or maybe I would, and I'd probably crash it. But it's definitely a challenge. It's definitely a challenge to fly in high wind with this. If it had a third speed rate, it'd be better. Here's a look at the camera that I have on the drone itself. As you can see, it's really clear. For a $22 camera off of Amazon, that's a GoPro clone, really clear, and we're starting to get some shake in here higher in altitude. The wind is actually blowing left to right of the screen, as you can see me tilting against it, pitching left against it, that way I can stay in the same spot. But as far as the clarity of this camera, it is it's pretty darn good. Definitely can't beat it. I have a bunch of action cams. Maybe at some point I'll do a video on action cams, because you don't need a GoPro Hero. I have a GoPro Hero. I didn't need it. I've been using an action cam comparable to it for a long time. This is a lot cheaper than what I've normally been using. I seen it on Amazon. I figured, what? It's $22. Says it shoots 1080p. I'm gonna grab it. Be careful when you're bringing this drone down. If you do pull too hard on the left stick, it will come down really quick. It will crash and come down. I made that mistake a little bit, maybe like a minute, 2 minutes from where we are right now. I decided to try to come down quick. That's generally how I come down quick. I generally down throttle and pitch forward, and you can come down quick from high altitude. You can't do that with this drone. So be aware of that. Be cautious. And again, the video quality, the resolution is excellent. And bam! There you go. That's what'll happen. And we'll show you it from my head cam's point of view. I was throttling down, throttled way too down. Bam! We'll say something though. My camera popped off of my mount on there. I found all the little rubber grommets. I put it back on there. There's no damage to the Syma. The only damage there is to one of where I guess you would consider a nut casing over the propeller, or propeller casing, the little silver thing, the little silver nub that sticks up top. That's the only damage to this. So we're gonna get this back together here, and we're gonna take it back up again. You see those two little black spots on the pavement over there? Those are my rubber grommets that I need to pick up and put back in my mount and put back on here. I'm pretty stoked though. When this hit, I definitely thought it was going to be in pieces. The grass really ain't thick where it hit, and I'm fortunate that it did not hit, and there's a rubber grommet, there's a rubber grommet. Unfortunate it did not hit that pavement there. So we're going to get this back together, and we are going to go up again. I'm going to check it over once or twice, and throw this back up in the air. Alright, we are back together. As you can see, that's the only thing wrong with it. One of the top silver pieces that go over the propellers is missing. No big deal for me. We're taking it back up. Obviously, I'm going to try to take note not to down throttle really hard, otherwise this is going to come down really hard. Be aware of that, guys. There's a lot of people that complain about this drone. Oh, it just falls out of the sky. Oh, it just falls out of the sky. No, dude. It'll fall out of the sky if you make it fall out of the sky. Am I mad at Syma? Not at all. Do I think Syma should have that feature on this? No. But that crash that I just had is 100% on me. It's pilot failure. It was me failure to realize exactly what I already knew, but I was neglecting to remember, and that's why it crashed. So here we go. We're going to take off again. We're going to allow you to see what the drone looks like during flight. And again, kind of doing my pre-flight here, making sure everything's snug, making sure everything's lit, making sure the propellers are on. You should do a pre-flight after a crash. Obviously, I'm not going over all the screws, but we've done general pre-flight, and we're back in the air here. And again, this is going to be head cam view. I showed you the camera that is on this. The mount that I'm using on this is from the AOSENMA. it slides right onto the body. It sits back a little bit further. If you notice, when this is coming towards you, the front legs are wider than the rear legs. There are the stock legs, but I have them positioned differently because I did not want the legs in my shot. I did not want them in my camera. I don't like to see anything in my camera. I don't like to see blades. I don't like to see legs. I like to see what I'm flying around. I like to see the landscape. So I have them mildly altered. And again, we're gonna fly this. This is not a lackadaisical flight. This is a very aggressive flight. When it goes back that far, that's basically me allowing the wind to take it and then me fighting forward. The wind's blowing in that direction. We're coming towards ourselves with the drone now, and the wind's blowing that way. It's blowing 12 to 16 mile an hour constant. The gusts are about 20 mile an hour. And as you can see, it's not housing the wind, it's not eating the wind, but it's able to deal. It's able to cope, it's able to fly, it's able to fight the wind. Again, Syma with that down feature that I crashed, don't know why they did that. It's really not a dope feature. And the fact that they didn't put a third speed rate. If this thing had a third speed rate, I think I would chalk this up to one of my 4 favorite quads. It's probably up there on one of my top 6. It's probably around there. My favorite quad is the AOSENMA. As problematic as it is, I've really never had many issues with it besides falling out of the sky once because I didn't tighten my motor mounts, which I didn't know were there. The AOSENMA is my top drone. And then right below that, you're going to have the Phantom, the Bebop, your really small teardrop Hubsan, Ishin E40G. I'm a big fan of embodied cameras, and some of the smaller embodied cameras fly really well and have really good video that comes out of them. And then you have your X5 clones. I have a lot of X5 clones, and I like the majority of them. The majority of them fly well. The Striker is top on that list on my X5 clones. It flies better than any X5 that I have. The only thing that I would change is the camera. And the camera's not bad, it's just not great. If the Striker had the X5C's camera on it, dude, it'd be the X5 King, X5 Clone King. But this is the X8. This is much larger than the X5 series. I have one other drone that's in this series, and it's the Wraith, and I absolutely can't stand it. I want to love my Wraith. It's an X8 clone, but I can't stand it. I've blown motors, I broke legs, I broke arms, I broke the camera before I even had a shake on it. I get horrible range on it. I do a range mod, it's really iffy. I don't know. All in all, I'm liking this bird. The range I'm getting on it, I'm liking. It's able to fight wind, I'm liking. It's able to carry aftermarket action cam, liking that. The AOSENMA's GoPro mount clips right into it, liking that. The only thing I don't care for on this drone is that down feature. The fact that you're dropping down and the drone will completely drop down, but it's in the manual. So I'm not going to hate on them. I'm not going to mark them for that. That was pilot error on myself, as I said. Other than that, it doesn't have a third speed rate, and landing gear is kind of cheap. I don't quite like the landing gear, and I have something planned to modify this. So if you're a subscriber of mine, keep your eyes open. This thing's going to change its appearance. If you're not a subscriber of mine and you have the X8, click that subscribe button. Within the next couple days, this is going to morph into something different. Already I have a different mount, I have a different camera on it, I've widened the stance of the front legs. This is going to change into something different. Hopefully I could get a stale day where I'm not fighting over 10-mile-an-hour winds, and I could just cruise with this so I can get some dope footage, and so I can really show you what this drone looks like during flight. I try to get close-ups, that way it's entertaining for you guys, that way you can see what the drone looks like during flight. With extreme wind, it's extremely hard to get this thing to sit in front of me so I can get a close-up on it because the wind's constantly pushing it, so I have to constantly counter that. Again, guys, this is a nice drone. Bam! There's another durability test for you. Durability through the roof. Just smack the tree and we're down. And again, my camera keeps popping off, which isn't a bad thing. That means it's not sustaining the full shock that it normally would, and the rubber grommets are kind of popping off. They're super easy to put back on, and that's what we're going to do right here, and then we're going to get back in the air. So all in all, I don't know. I'm gonna stamp this like, I don't know, maybe like a 92%. 92% quad on 100% rating. If it had that third speed setting, where it could actually eat wind as opposed to fight it. If it If it didn't have that down feature, I'd give it 100. I'd give it 100 right there. But we have a couple frails with it, and they're not big frails, but they're enough for me to duly note. Price point on this. Price point. If you can get this for under $100, grab it. I paid over $100 on it. The paint job alone is a $20 paint job for me, so whatever. And I also got it on Prime, so I'm sure I paid another $10, $20 for the Have It Now price, which is actually 2 to 3 days shipping, which I got it in 2 days, so that's epic. But if you could get this for $100, grab it. If you could get this for under $70, grab 2 of them. Average price you're going to pay is over $100 on this. I will have the link down below where I purchased mine from. If you want to just click, check it out, check out the features. Definitely do your shopping. If you want to get it cheaper, get it cheaper. If you want to get what I got and get it from Amazon, get it in like 2 days, it's right there for you. Also, Drone Days is on Facebook. If you like drones, you like showing off your drones, you like modding drones, go to Drone Days. The link will be at the bottom. Click join, I'll accept you, and you'll be a part of one of the fastest growing drone groups on Facebook and one of the most active and productive drone groups on Facebook. There's a lot of drone groups that have a lot of people that are just dead groups. Our group's not dead. We're very active, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a really good look at the camera setup that I have going on. If you like RC cars, a lot of us do too. A lot of my friends that fly drones started with RC cars. Myself, I started with drones, and I'm slowly transitioning into RC cars because when it's really windy like this, I can play on the ground, no issues. That link will be at the bottom too. So 3 links for you down there where to pick this up: Drone Days and also Grounded RC. The 2 other links are for Facebook. Click join, you'll be accepted, and you'll be a part of a nice group of guys and women. We have guys and girls on Drone Days. I'm not sure if we have any women in Grounded RCs. But guys, the flight time that I'm getting on these, the last video that I had was your 2000 mAh battery. This is an aftermarket one. This is a 2100 mAh battery, and I'm pushing 11 to 13 minutes debatably. I mean, it crashed once or twice, so the end time here is about 13 and a half. We take another minute off that. With the higher mAh, I probably saw about a good 12-minute flight, and with the stock battery, I've seen a little over 11-minute flight. So I'm liking the flight time. I'm liking the flight time lifting an external camera that's definitely heavier than the stock one here. So, and we're coming down. We're coming down. Think it's gonna auto land. I have lights blinking. We're gonna push it till auto lands, if it auto lands. And again, this will limit your ceiling. Once your low voltage level goes, it'll limit your ceiling. That way you can't be that high up. That way it's like, hey dude, bring it down. Okay, you're not going that high, you better bring it down, low voltage. And I'm sure eventually if you ignored that, it might fall out of the sky if you're too high. But from what I've seen on my RTF flight, it grounded me. It brought it back to the ground and landed itself, and that's what it looks like it's doing here. Guys, I'm J-Drone. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And auto land, are we gonna auto land? If you have any questions, down low in the links in the comments, definitely get at me. Bam, auto land. Take care, guys.